This episode is brought to you by twolinedmusichutstore.com. Twolinedmusichutstore.com is your all-access to culture. Check out cultural merchandise like leggings, hats, mini boxing gloves, and bags. Also t-shirts like hip-hop, nature, rock bands, reggae, and dark fantasy. Fast shipping worldwide. That's twolinedmusichutstore.com. Now let's check out this episode. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Muscle, and this is another Two Line Music Hut's Entertainment Report podcast. And today, we have a really special guest in the building. Listen, when you talk to artists from way back in the early 90s until right now, one name always comes around when it comes to New York. You know we have in the building today? We have Mr. Johnny Wonder in the building today. What's going on, big boss?
What's up, Muscle? Good to be here. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, I'm here. I'm here, dude, working,
making it
in my
happen.
pot room in Florida.
You know how it goes already. Thank you for joining us here on the Entertainment Report podcast today.
Yeah, man, thanks. Welcome. Thank you.
Thanks for having me. You're welcome. On this podcast, we like to go right from the beginning and then bring it up right to 2021. So my first question for you is this. What background are you and where did you grow up?
Italian, Brooklyn. I'm Italian from Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm. What was it like growing up in Brooklyn back in those times there?
Well, there was a lot of things in Brooklyn, but we from back then, I was dealing with music, so I didn't really get into the gang stuff and all of that. It was growing up in Brooklyn was a thing. I was also a graffiti writer. I was a lot of things, so. I have all my art where it should be up now, but I'm in construction. But, I used to do that too.
Mm-hmm.
With famous graffiti writer in books and stuff. And, that's what we did. And music, going to the clubs and writing graffiti and going to the Washington Square Park and playing soccer with the dreads and stuff, And that's how I really got into the culture, like from Washington Square Park. Well, everybody used to be there, not only Jamaicans, but, Jamaicans, Trini, Haitian, Guyanese, everybody, African, But
everybody was out there. So, okay, even before we get there now, you growing up in Brooklyn and stuff, what did you think you were going to get into? What did you think you were going to be?
Oh, boy. Well, I got into things, but I still had music as a focus. I still wanted to do music. I used to sit on the stoop and compile records. You know what I mean? While I was doing other things. That's just what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, I did other things that I'm not going to mention. And but I still had music and art. You know what I mean? So I spoke more focused on that than anything else.
And that got you. And when it even came to graffiti, what got you into graffiti and tagging and stuff like that?
Just being around people that were doing it, and that was what was happening at the time. And we just so happened to, link with other people and link up with the people we already known, and had like TVS, the Vam Squad, look it up, RTW, Wow Crew, all of those,
Mm-hmm.
So. We were there with all of that.
And what was your graffiti name back then?
Boozer. Look it up. Yeah. Me and T-Kid did a lot.
Yeah.
T-Kid 170. Me and him did a lot of work,
All right. So you got that artistic side of you. So then when did you start to venture into music? What was your first step getting into the music?
My first step was opening record stores.
Mm-hmm.
I had record stores in Manhattan, one on the Bowery, one on St. Mark's Place, had a couple of record stores. And that my specialty was the dancehall reggae music. So I would go get it at VP and bring it back to the city where nobody knew where I was getting it and sell it, or bring it up from Jamaica, or even have Jammys press up singles for Jammys and distribute them. And, and we did all the white labels and everything with VP, with all of those remixes with Killa and all of that.
We're going to get there. Don't worry, because this is a long journey. We're going to get into all of that good stuff there. The record stores that you had opened up in Manhattan, what were the names of them?
The first one was called Ujima.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a partnership between me and my Trinidadian friend,
Mm-hmm.
And it was a partnership. But we were on the Bowery, and we were there for a while. I mean, it was getting, the prices of the place was really getting crazy because it was like, it was one floor, another floor, and another. So it's 3 floors in Manhattan on the Bowery. They weren't looking at us like, they didn't want us to. So that one, we closed it, and then they went their way. They didn't want to do it anymore. So I went and opened one called John's Records and Distribution on St. Mark's Place, 110 St. Mark's Place. And went from there. And then when that got too expensive, I moved to 23rd Street just to do distribution. Because now I'm putting out stuff for Jammys, I'm putting out stuff, my own stuff, and I'm putting out stuff, giving it to VP and giving it to who I can. Back then, it took you a weekend to get to every store in Brooklyn, Bronx, and Queens. Now you can just do it in an hour if you can find any. But we used to take our records around. Rest in peace to Moody's, Skelly. Rest in peace to Shelly and Moody's, and big up Witty, Ja Life, everybody. You know what I mean? New Look, Louis Malcolm, and them. They were there back in the days.
Definitely. So you have your record shop. Did you start producing when you had the record shop, or this came?
Well, what happened? I had a record shop. My transition was like, all right, I got records. I love to play records. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna be a DJ. Mm-hmm. So we started to keep little $5 dances, and then they was so packed and rammed that promoters came to me and they wanted me to do sticky mics on a Sunday night. So that started to do that. And then I used to do the Ukrainian Center. Then I ended up in the Reggae Lounge. And then from the Reggae Lounge to the Island Club till closure, but I worked there I was there almost every night for a long time, and that's where I got my stuff. But then, when you playing records out and you're playing records, you always feel you can make a record now, because you know what people like and stuff. So if you look at it, mostly everybody had started selecting became a producer, because I guess that's the transition. You know what I mean? After that, you become a producer because you always think you can make that record because you play records, what the crowd likes and stuff. So back then I was into everything, every kind of music.
What was the name of what was your DJ name, or what was the name of your sound? I was just
Johnny Wonder. We had a sound called Street Life.
Okay. So how did you get your name Johnny Wonder? Because remember when you were
down at Jammys. That was down at Jammys. Somewhere down at Jammys, somehow, some kind of way, I got the name Johnny Wonder. I think it's King himself probably give it to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But down there, it's so long ago, and I can't really remember, but I used to, love Little John, you know what I mean? So, and he used to say Johnny Wonder, so it did fit. I love Little John, So.
All right, so then let's do this now. Before you even get to Jam, so you said, okay, you're going to start producing because you have your song, your DJ, you're playing out and stuff. What was the first sound or artist or thing you
Simon Templar was the first artist I produced an album with. He's from Brooklyn, Simon Templar. Took him to Jammys, did the whole album and everything. And that was just from the Reggae Lounge vibes. That was the first thing I ever really produced. Mm-hmm. And that was a minute ago. You got to ask him what year it was. I don't remember.
How did that do for you guys?
Well, it never really came out, but he did put out a single with it and all of that, and he still has the album, but I don't know what he wants to do with it. It never really came out fully, I think we put out a couple of singles with a B-side, and it didn't really go nowhere. And then he had one little record that was going on good, so he just ran with that, So.
Got you. So okay, you brought it up a couple times. We just started Jammys. What was your first time like in Jamaica, and how did you connect with King Jammys in the first place?
Well, I connected to King through a phone call that Bunny Lee made, because I was out in Jersey, and I was I had my record shops, so I'm out in Jersey. I'm going to Rohit. So Rohit was like they had just got a lot of Jammys disc in, CDs, so I was going to go out to Rohit to buy my shit wholesale. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I go out there, and Bunny Lee was there. I didn't even know who he was. You know what I'm saying? But, I quickly, oh, shit, it's Bunny Lee, So we got to talking, and for some reason, I said, I was like, yeah, I like Jammys. Jammys my favorite producer. Mm-hmm. So he just got Jammys on the phone. And I said, you're a great producer. And Jammys said, yeah, I know. So that was the first kind of thing I had with Jammys. Then I kept on having a thing with Jammys until we said, all right, we're going to go to Jamaica and do this. And then, boom, we went to Jamaica. We did the Simon Templar. But then I wasn't done. So I just kept on going back and forth. Mm-hmm. So that was the whole time, 90s into the 95s, like, when with the Junior Cat, Risto, Killer, you know what I mean? Panhead, the whole of them, you know what I mean? All of them back then, mm-hmm. We came up through that,
Through the King Jammys link there. All right, so you produce a Simon Temple. You say you weren't done. So what was your next move with King Jammys at that time there?
Well, I mean, I was always trying to distribute something or do something. So I guess, we started doing a thing where, I would come down and pick some songs and try to go sell them to VP and stuff like that. And basically every other month we were coming up with rhythms and things and singles that we can sell Chris and sell VP because, and that was it. And that's what I really did. And then I was down there a lot and, we did a lot. Mm-hmm. We did a lot, so much things. A
lot of work. Because I know that you were one of the people that I think broke Passport Buddy Risto Benji.
I put it out on John's Records. John's Record put it out. We put it out first, just like Copper Shot. We put some songs. Bandolero came out first. Good Whole College. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you the whole thing on them redo that, yo. I'll tell you. What was it? Good Whole College. Bandolero, Passport Buddy, Would I Let You Go? Yo, some bad, I can't remember right now, but enough bad tune.
Why did you choose, a Risto Benji, a Pinchers, and those songs? Why did you choose those songs in particular?
I was down there when a lot of it was made, and it's just an atmosphere, vibe. Benji's there every day. Mm-hmm. You naturally want to see Benji get a hit song, and he'd be there every day with him. Mm-hmm. And Pinches is, that type of Pinches. Wait, after Pinches heard Pliers sing his song, the song before Bandolero was never on the rhythm, and Pliers did a song on the rhythm first, and Pinches, I listened to Pliers, mm-hmm. and then came back with Bandolero.
Classic.
I'm telling you, man. Then I went up there and I pressed it on a 12-inch with Good Whole College and a couple of other songs, and it just went boom.
And when you're talking about when you're talking about Good Whole College, that was Red Dragon you're talking about.
Red Dragon, yeah. But for some reason, it was just as his transition was going out. Mm-hmm. He had that last Good Whole College. Mm-hmm. Which did some, people loved. In the club, they love that. It's a club thing.
Mm-hmm. So all of these are the pre-Killer, because we're working ourselves up to the Killer.
Pre-Killer. So, it's all pre-Killer. Mm-hmm. All pre-Killer. I'm just saying, to me, the universe this is how the universe was. Mm-hmm. You had the universe. You had Risto, Junior Cat, Panhead, and Junior Cat, Panhead, Risto Benji, and there was another one.
Pinchers.
Right? No, but I'm just saying, everything, all of these people through their life led it to be Killer time. Mm-hmm. Because them people were out of the picture at that time, and there was a great concentration on Killer. Mm-hmm. For me, like, I don't know how Jammys and them was at, but I know John was on it, and, John was like, yeah, all right, boom. Because at that time, they didn't want no gun songs to be played in Jamaica when the JBC came in and all of that. So, King is king. King is king. King is like, King is like him not do no bad things. If them say you can't make gun tune, him not make no gun tune in Jamaica. But we had it and we just bring it up. You know what I'm saying? So,
Like that, even before we get to Killer Panhead, what was it like working with a young Panhead at that time?
Let me tell you something. Everybody has their own thing about Panhead. Me and him never had a problem. Ever. For taking the pictures of his thing and everything, me and him never had a problem. I told him to go for his booty printer to Jammys. No, I'm going to tell him, all right, here's what. I like the song, and he went and did it on a dub play for Stone Love. And I said, yo, bring that song, go record that. Go record that, So I guess I told King, yo, this song Pony Print is gonna be, boom. And then he gave him the ring and they did it, and it was, how it goes. Another song.
Crazy. And what was the vibe like when you heard that Panhead had died? Because he died
Oh
very
shit!
early.
I was in Japan with King. No, yeah. I was in Japan with King when I heard about with Jammys. When I heard about it, or was that with Garnet Silk? I think with Panhead we heard it from when me and Killer went. I think so. Garnet Silk was when we went with Jammys. I think he had the next one. I heard we were in Japan. No matter what, I know where I was in Japan. I don't know particularly where. When I got the news about Panhead. And that was because he was gone. He was ready to go. Man. He was going to take off. He was ready to go. I mean, he was holding the order long before Capleton. You know what I mean? Like long before he had his bigging up black people and bigging up the whole culture, bigging up him thing. Long before some other people were doing it. And I know that, because I seen it, the transition.
Crazy. Did he get a chance to come to New York and perform or anything?
I met Benji when he first came up.
What was that like?
Well, when I came up, I seen him. I made sure, boom, and then he went with the Shabba people where he went with, and that was that. Because he had to follow their thing. You know what I mean? He was with them, and he have to go with them. So there's no breaking off and then me, no. So I met him. It was good. Yeah, baby, boom, blah, blah, blah. And, he gone about his business. Yeah.
Crazy. And who were some other artists? Because I guess you were working a lot with
Cat,
King Jammys.
We were doing Junior Cat. We were a few songs in with Junior Cat before Super Cat came and signed them over to the thing. Right? I'm telling you, it's a journey. Super Cat signed Junior Cat. Benji gone with Saba. Panhead, them kill Panhead. That has to be. I keep on K, but I know. I don't know. It was somebody else. I can't forget. But Jesus, I still from them time there till now see the succession of how Killer came about.
Okay. You know what? Let's just go there then, because you brought up his name a couple of times. How did this? I need you to take your time with this one here, Johnny. All right. How did this whole Killer Connect happen in the first place? Because if a lot of people don't know, you're basically responsible for this mighty bounty killer that we know today because of some stuff he did early in his career.
I'll tell you. Okay, well, so I'm like I say, I'm down there. I'm seeing, I see the potentials, and a lot of Turbo Belly had potentials, and determined, and then you had like Kutchi and Toddler and Boom. They were, people were doing their little thing. They had little things. Black Mice had a song with doulas, and there was, everybody was down there doing their thing. So what came about? I wasn't there when he voiced it. I was there when it got mixed. I know Prento had something to do with that, but yeah, like he said, I carried the dats up. So I said, they said no. I said yes. It's not, and we're not in Jamaica. We're going to New York. Put that on the DAT. You know what I mean? We're going to New York. What? They don't care. You can play Copper Shot 20 times and not even have no clean, nothing. Nobody would know the difference.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we're going to New York. We're not going here, put it on the DAT. Boom. Of course, we're going up there. We know that Roach and Galaxy P are going good with the tune and everything are going, so you get that vibe. So I said, you know what? I believe in this tune and the kid, so let me just put it here, and we'll put it on. We'll put it out through the regular channels we do with VP as a single, and that's what happened. And there you go. And then we, the whole thing through Brooklyn. You couldn't. I am my person. What? You're going to do what to Kill It in Brooklyn? No, sir. You're not going to do nothing to Kill It in Brooklyn. After the thing that happened at at Don Juan, when he was a kid, after that, Brooklyn was his place, Big up Tip Top and Speedy and Buju and the whole crew. The originals.
From there, what was a young killer like before even Copper Shot? What was it like dealing with him back then?
He was easy. I mean, he was, smoking spliff and a cigarette and drink Pepsi, and he was different. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I even seen the transition from the Pepsi to the Henny, but I seen the transition from the jeans to the guy on Orchard Avenue's clothes, that nice linen clothes. You know what I'm saying? That from a fade to ding, and all of that. So to see that transition, I couldn't believe it. I was like, "You're crazy. What are you doing?" Because that took him off. Like basically, before he was dressing like that, he was dressing like any normal kid from New York. Mm-hmm. You would look at him, but then he put on the Trevi stuff and all of that stuff. You see me? That changed the game.
Crazy. So Copper Shot came out here now. This blew up big in New York.
This was crazy. I was at Superpower when they played the B-side.
Okay.
You didn't even, the first couple of things, everybody would just come in. They didn't even have to name the song. Just put the blue label in the air. Yo, give me that. Give me that. Give me that. Superpower alone on a Saturday is the only place I've ever seen that type of thing. 3 deep trying to get that blue and white label.
King Jammys, boss. King Jammys.
Then it pops is saying, bring another box. I'm like, pay me for the box that you already sold. One thing I'm not like, pay people, trust me. They want all the records in the world, but they don't want to pay you. Come on now. I have
Welcome
to go to the music business and beg up for my records.
Crazy. So then, how did you even know this song was really bubbling, Copper Shot? When did you know, okay, we have something here?
This song just, it just came out of like the underground, like with a fury. I didn't know. I liked the song. You know what I mean? I'm trying to give him a chance because now everybody's gone around there. We have to bring somebody. We have to the camp, so we have to bust somebody from here. You know what I mean? From the camp has to bust. So concentration on top of, let's deal with what's already hot. But concentration is on to get somebody on the come up. And that's where that came from. And it was a fast come up. You understand? Because Bobby will tell you, and they would tell you, that was playing on the radio. It was playing on back then we had WNWK and all of that. We had a lot, like, they were on BLS. I mean, it played right alongside, Goody Goody and all them other songs.
Crazy. So then now you see the song is bubbling. How do you connect back with Killer and say, yo, these are the moves? What were the next moves?
Go to Brooklyn, keep the show. Go around Brooklyn, keep the show. Shoot a video, da-da-da-da. Try to get the shit going, cracking. And that's what we did. And then, then TVT, the whole thing with VP and TVT, the joint venture, I was like the in-between. I was the bridge for that, So TVT wanted him now, so, it was not like you can run and go put out singles anymore and stuff like that. So, we put all the white labels out. But, but Copper Shot was just big in the streets. That's all I can say. And it just went crazy.
So even before you guys got to TVT, which album came first, Next Millennium or My Experience?
My Experience came first.
How do you guys put together that album there?
We did that album. People were interested. Well, we were doing it for VP at the time, until, I was at VP and I was at TVT. So naturally, I'm going to try and bridge this gap and do a joint venture and what's best for us. So Patricia, Joseph, and them at TVT, you know what I mean? They brought it to the table and, it was a good look. It was a good look, so we already had been compiling and making music before. We weren't asking nobody for nothing. We got the Fuji. We didn't pay a dime for the Fujis. Everybody got their publishing. Nobody really got no upfront money. None of them hip hop people really did that.
And who was on that album there?
Everybody. Fugees, Wu-Tang Clan, J. Rue the Damager, Richie Stevens and Third World and Beanie Man, and oh my God, it was just so many. You know, he had a lot of his own songs that held it down, but he did have a lot of combinations.
And how did you connect the dots with all these hip hop acts now? Because you said you connected with Food.
Yeah, I do. But that over time you learn how to do this, and if you become who you are, and then you can always reach out and find a link in, and then you just find if it's a yes or a no. Mm-hmm. What can you do? You know what I'm saying? So that's how I do it. I still do it like that. Reach out to people, and if they want to reach back. If not, what can I do?
Mm-hmm. And how did My Experience do for him at this time here now? Because he's the new kid on the block. He's hot like fire.
Oh my God, ask him. We went on the My Experience tour. Mm-hmm. Such a successful tour. Mm-hmm. The best tour. Trust me, that's the best. Ask him. The best tour I'm doing. Mm-hmm. My Experience tour. We went around. It was great. It was 6 months on Billboard. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? it was ridiculous. But after when we toured, it was helping it out. We seen that. We seen how much merch is worth and all of that. You learn things. But it was a big, big tour.
What do you remember most about that tour? Either a show in particular? What is it that sticks in your mind forever about that My Experience tour that you never forget?
The thing is that I'm the last one on the bus and the first one off the bus. So I got to make sure that these guys get their back line set up. Make sure that they go to sound check. Make sure they guys get the bags up there. Make sure everybody checks in. But it don't go so smooth sometimes. Somebody said, "That room and I stay in the room," and this and that. Then that your whole energy. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But it's difficult. It's difficult. That's what I did. I remember the shows because I was like, yeah, but I really didn't sit in front. Mm-hmm. One show I did sit in front was Brixton Academy. Mm-hmm. I love that show. Mm-hmm. But that's the European tour. That's another story. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And this was around this was around My Experience, or when was it?
Yeah.
Tell me about that tour. What? Tell me about that. The one in Europe now.
Oh. All right, Rough Cut was with us again. Bowlby. I know Killer. Mm-hmm. And some other people. I know that we took a couple of planes where the people had to drive a bus from like England to Sweden. Yeah. But I didn't like that tour that much. Mm-hmm. I didn't really like it. I don't think everybody on the tour their vibes were like different on there, Mm-hmm. Everybody had a whole different energy.
What changed by you guys got to Europe?
I don't know, man, but I ended up taking a plane home early. Mm-hmm. That's how I didn't want to be there.
Got you.
You understand? So, because that happens. I mean, what am I going to do? No.
Mm-hmm. Keep it moving like that.
Yeah,
okay.
Keep it moving.
Was this the same time where you guys got involved with the Precious label also?
Well, yeah, that was his label. I was telling him he need to produce, and or whatever. Well, he knows he needed to produce and to have his own label to bring in his own revenue. You know what I mean? That was basically everything he liked to do. Say like you sell your own shit, gets a little revenue, and you can put it back into you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's basically, how I figured it with him.
Because that's the label where the Bounty, Busta Rhymes, and Junior Reid came out on. Change Just Like the Weather.
Change This. That was on the album too. Change Just Like the Weather.
How did you guys put that together?
You must be. Listen, we're in LA, mm-hmm. right? And we did a show at the Hollywood Palladium, mm-hmm. right? Boom. And vibes again, people, bad vibes, people not, so I'm like, dog, we're booked, studio time booked, mm-hmm. at Chung King with Eric Sermon.
Wow.
And Busta. Mm-hmm. All right. So Eric Sermon produced that joint.
Never knew that until you said that right now, Johnny.
Chung King.
Mm-hmm.
We went to Chung King.
Mm-hmm.
I hope I'm not delirious, but yeah. And Buster was there, and then I was on the plane and everything. I'm like, yo, dog, we have to go to this. Nah, I'm going nowhere. Nah, go nowhere. I said, man, yo, everything's set up. What are you talking about? We have to go in. You know, and then when we get off, he kind of calmed down, and then we probably went to got him good something to eat and some weed, and everything was good. We went up there and did the do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then we did the video.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Bogle was in the video too. That was like one of the first Bogle in the video.
Yes.
Yeah,
Big video. Where did you guys film? Did you guys film that in the States or in Jamaica?
It was at a soundstage in Queens.
Okay.
Yeah. It was up here we did that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
changes like the weather.
Yeah, changes like the weather.
Yeah, so you guys are doing good. And
he's the hottest media guy at the moment, you know?
You guys are doing crazy things now. So, okay. So you say you were working for TVT, but you had the link for VP at the same time.
Well, you know, I would sit and try to compile records and try to bring as much dancehall and reggae to these people as I could. And you know what I mean? And then from 97 to 2000, I wasn't around. But when I came home in 2000, I worked at TVT as a IT person, you know, just so I can have a job and maintain a job and whatever. So I worked there. I did a lot of IT shit for them, you know what I'm saying? But they all know me, and they all know that I want to make records and I want to do this and that. So, you know, while I was there doing that, I was still doing the album, you know, because we were making that album, my experience. So, and then it got like, you know, I said, I caught the attention of Patricia and then Randy and them at VP, and everybody got to say, yeah, let's do this and that. And that's how the joint venture came out, and that's how the record came out.
Yeah, because with Next Millennium, now that's the one that came out on TVT.
Yeah, no, both of them came out. Yo, I wasn't around for Next Millennium. I finished mixing the album the morning before I went and turned myself in for 3 years.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? So I was at Sony Studios with Wyclef finishing up the song with Nona Hendrix and them. And then the next day, boom, then I had that, and I dropped it off and hit the road.
And that was the end of that for a while. All right, so then now while you were away, Killer still, he's super red hot right now. You know what I mean? So when you came home now, what were your moves when you came home now? What were you doing when you came back?
Trying to seek and maintain employment, trying to just be just be a good kid, and just be a good guy and just chill. I didn't have nobody owe me nothing or nothing type of vibes. I didn't care. I did my own thing. So I just wanted to get back into it, get back into the whole business and the vibes and everything. But it took a while, and things take time, And
what was your first project when you came back home then?
I think I wrote the linear notes for Warlord Scrolls. I think that was the first thing I did when I came back. Was I did the linear notes for Warlord Scrolls. And then, I don't know, so much other stuff. I did Dancehall Draft Picks. I did the King Jammys documentary. I did...
hold on. Back it up there. The King Jammys documentary. How did you come up with that? And I know Bobby Digital was still around at that time there. How did you come up with that there?
It's a thing between one of the persons that was at VP and me, right? And they said, all right, we'll do it, So, but I was the only one that I had to go get all of the film clips from King. I had to sit and watch everything, do everything, get everything, make sure everything's done, and and make sure that it comes out good. And we did a lot of filming, a lot of this and that, and then the edit came out nice and everything, and I liked it. It was sold out at the Tribeca Film Festival. Sold out. I wasn't even in there. I was scared to see myself live. You know what I'm saying? I was like,
you like to work behind the scenes and keep it moving.
Yeah.
Because even in this time here too, didn't you have a record label called Ghetto Vibes?
Yes, I did.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I did. Put out a bunch of stuff with that.
What were some of the stuff you put out on your label?
I know something big that was on Never Keeping Secrets by Cane Juice. That was really big.
Mm-hmm.
Cellular Number. Not Another Word.
Mm-hmm.
You know, stuff like that. I can't remember them all, I swear.
Yeah.
So many of them.
Yeah, no, because you at that time there, but what I'm figuring was I thought a lot of those songs had came out on like either the Priceless label or Jammys label, but I seen that you had Ghetto Vibes also. So was it different regions that came out on different labels?
No, well, I guess if it's like this, you go out and you have 25 records from King Jammys, right? 25 records from him, and another 25 from me, and another 25 from John. So sometimes you go up there and say, this is for Ghetto Vibes.
Mm-hmm.
This is John's label. This is King label. This so-and-so and so-and-so. You know what I mean? So they don't want so much music. Mm-hmm. So we said, all right, we created a lot of labels so that we can do this and that. You know, tell you the truth.
Yeah. Yeah, because
I mean, you know, you go get money from Chris. He gives you, you know, a stack of 5s and 1s, and you sign a napkin and go home. You know what I mean? You know, you got 5s and 1s and some 10s, and you signed the breakfast napkin, and you're gone in business.
Even before we even move forward, I know another name that you did some work with Mad Cobra, but this was early in his career, though.
You know, me and Cobra were friends. I really didn't do that much with him, and we did a few things, but me and him were just cool as friends and stuff like that. You know, Cobra's not. I don't think Cobra would be in somebody that I would have figured say that me do anything for, or him do anything for me. You know, we're just friends.
Connected here and there. And who else would you say, okay, because everybody knows you and Killer, that was definitely the big run. Who else would you say somebody you worked with very closely also?
Junior Cat.
Risto. Talk to us about it.
You know, me and Junior Cat just had a vibes. You know what I mean? Them just had a vibe. Dog and Super Cat are my favorite DJ, so you know what I mean? I'm gonna show you. Want me to show you? Look. See? Super Cat and Nicodemus.
You know. Did you do any work with Super Cat or Nicodemus?
Yeah, you know, I was around Cat for a while after Fred died. You know, and we never in that time of Cat. When I would link with Cat, he wasn't really doing anything. He wasn't recording. He wasn't doing dub plates. He wasn't doing shows. You know, it was just that type of thing. And go over there, talk to him, smoke a spliff, and cut. You know what I mean? But we never really got any music with Cat. All my music with Cat is virtually through Jammy's catalog.
Got you. Even Nicodemus, you did any work with him?
Yeah, well, yeah, I had some Nicodemus. Because Demus was my dude. You know what I mean? I had a couple of Nicodemus. I don't remember what their name, but and we put out that album too. That Nicodemus was a Bonanza album. I think that might have been his last album, yeah.
And even Konders, how did you link up with Bobby now? I know you guys are both in New York. How did that relationship work with you and Bobby Konders? You know,
I think I met Bobby through Pat McKay. That's who I met Bobby from. When Bobby and Pat were on WBLS. And that's how I met Bobby. And then, you know, it was a radio thing, you know, plus, you know, I had a lot of gas, like they said, to give people, you know what I mean? I had a lot of gas. So I, you know, go around, and they were kind of one of my favorite people to go to. You know, so I'd give them the gas, you know what I'm saying? And that's how I know it. And then Bobby had his own studio in the projects in Brooklyn. So there was people that we used to go over there and cut dub plates, and then Killer went over there, and then, you know, it was over. Me and Bobby been around for a long, long time, though.
Definitely. And even I know you've done work with even like Nitty Gritty, Dennis Brown, and those type of names are also.
Yeah, well, I put most of those albums together. And the new, like the ones that came after the original ones, I put them up, you know, repackaged, remastered, everything, and we'd put them out through VP. You know, we did a lot. Nitty Gritty, Tennis, King Kong, Johnny Osbourne, Junior Reed, Gregory, Half Pint, Cornell Campbell, Al Campbell, so many. Pinchers, Coca T, Dean Fraser, Steely and Clevey, Frankie Paul. Yeah, we did all of those albums.
Yeah, so your job at that time, I guess, was basically compiling albums. Jammys would have the singles, so you're gonna go put it together, put it in a nice package.
Yeah, I go through the book. If I wasn't there in person, hearing it, and seeing everything made, when I used to come back down from New York, I'd go through the book to see what was recorded, you know, see what data it was on or whatsoever. You know what I mean? Because they used to have a big book, write everything in the book. You know what I mean? So you would be able to go see who recorded the last couple of weeks on what did they record it and which artist recorded, you know, then you can focus on, all right, pull that, you know what I'm saying? Put this onto that, put this onto that, put this onto that. You know, so that's how I used to get to compile records, rhythm, compilation, and singles and everything else. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, then we did the remixes where it all came out on white label. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. Those are some big remixes, man.
Yeah. What were some of the remixes that you worked on?
Cellular Phone remix, Not Another Word remix. Popcorn. Only Girls You Want with Buster. I did that. Man, I can't even think no more, man. I did a lot of remixes.
Clearly.
I did a lot of remixes. I just can't remember them all, man.
Mm-hmm. Clearly. Yeah. Somebody else even over at King Jammys would have been Bobby Digital. Give me one of your favorite
stories. Bobby already, when the time that I went down there, Bobby was already, I guess, going up to You and Den or whatever, or, you know, because at that time when Bobby wasn't really there, Snakey and Fat Man was there, Prento, you know, a lot of them, you know, Beckett and Swingen and them and then, you know, that's another thing with them because look, Swingen died, Beckett died, this one died. Jesus Christ, man, it's just it comes to where it came to the other kid that died just recently too. He used to be there. What there was so many when Bobby used to see Bobby, but he wasn't really in the studio like that when I got around there, you know, which you know, Bobby was on a fucking pedestal to me, you know, Steely and more Steely too, and Steely was like, and you know.
What was it like meeting even somebody like a Steely? Because you heard the records, but when you met him in person, what was it like dealing with him?
Steely is a person, man, and love muster people and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Love it. We used to call King Redneck. Used to make him really mad and thing. He was always he was just a fun person. Plus, he was very musical. He was a very musical person, Don. But you know, and then he loves to fuck with people too. And Bobby was always on the pit. Bobby's, you know, he's not that like Steely. He's not, you know, jumping up and down. Bobby's kind of quieter and stuff, you know. But like that whole thing around Jammys, that whole era, I'm really into and I cherish it, kind of, you know, that whole era. You know?
Definitely. Yeah. Because even as you said, you took a break for a while. And when you came back, I know you started to do work with like Serrani, Mavado, Idonia, and these type of artists. How do you connect with this new crop of artists now compared to
because I did a dancehall draft picks video, you know, and I went and I recorded, you know, all of these guys before they bust. You know what I mean? So and plus, you know, with the whole dub plate trade, you know, we used to get a lot of dub work in New York, so we used to have to link them, and you know, they become like kind of like, you know, they'll call you and they'll become like, anything happening and stuff like that. So that's how you get them linked. When they come to New York, you take them on the full gambit, you know, the tour. You get them food, you get them weed, you go to the radio stations, you go to the pirate stations, you go to the clubs, you keep it moving, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, the pass-throughs, the this, the that, you know, we used to do all of that. For 7 years, that's all I did in my life, was carry motherfuckers around. Yeah.
Who was one of your favorite artists that you've seen come from zero, rise up in the new set of artists, new crop?
Skilly.
Before, hold on, we're getting there. We're gonna get there. I'm talking to Mavados, the Idonas, that crap right there.
Well, Mavado was my singer, man. Cartel. Mavado was my singer. You know what I mean? And, I was always, for me, it was always a pleasure, to be even around Mavado's at that time, because I really rated him. He was definitely a dancehall draft pick that made it, How you doing, yeah? Same thing. His father and everybody up in the Bronx and everything.
Okay.
Know him for a minute. You know what I mean? Same type of link up kind of way. Everybody. Everybody. Serrani. Yeah, man. We work for Serrani, but then, shit happens.
The music.
Let bygones be bygones. What can I say?
Yeah. Okay, so even before we got to Skilly, who were you working with right before you got to with Skillibeng?
I wasn't just putting out a few singles and stuff and concentrating on distribution business more than I was producing, But I had a good TJ, stimulated bad song, big song. Charlie Blacks and Chris Martin. That's some pretty, some decent song. But I don't I just don't rush nothing. I just take time and make things. Everybody's talking about rhythms, but I've really never had any success with them. I've had more success with singles than I've had with rhythms.
Okay, that's where you find your power lies.
That's where I find my thing. You know what I mean? Somebody might find their thing in making rhythms. They might say, "Oh, it's because I'm not really Jamaican that's why I think like that." But that's just the way I think.
Yeah, it worked for you. It made you successful up to this point. So then clearly it's working for you, right?
I'm just saying, the 808s, everybody does them now. Listen up.
Crazy. So even before we even get to Skilly, because that's something recent, how do you get to 21st Hala? What's the name of the company?
21st Apilos?
Yes. How did you get to them in the first place?
Well, he knew some of the people that were like, they come back to Mavado. You know what I mean? Stammer, a youth named Stammer, used to tell him about me because the man wanted to do music and stuff. So he wanted to do parties, and I said, I don't do parties because parties are just a joke. I'm going to do distribution. You have any, you want to do that? Say, yeah. So we tried to sign up as 21st Productions and his production company, but the people told us we just need one thing. So we said, all right, boom, we'll make it 21st, which is me, and the other thing, which is him.
Got you.
Got me? That's how that came about. And yes, I was there for a while, and then, it just got whatever, and then I walked away like Dr. Dre. They said they probably would say they fired me, but I walked away like Dr. Dre, you know what I mean? Good. Keep everything. Let me just go about my business. And that's that. That's that story.
How long were you over there for?
Oh, shit. 2009 to, I think, 7 years. And 4 years all by myself, too. Yeah.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? I did everything by myself. I did everything. Made the covers, put it on, made the data, do this, everything. I did everything.
For the first 4 years. Yeah. And how was it going from like record to now digital distribution? How did you manage those waters, even in your mind? What did you do? Say, okay, this is how I'm going to attack this right here and get it.
I'm looking at it like these are the new record company. These are the new record stores. Let's put it like that.
Got you.
Now, if I was to deal with record stores, I'm going to be taking my box of records and I'm going to put them over there so that they can sell them. It's the same thing. I'm taking this music and I'm putting it on Spotify and I'm putting it on here so people can buy it, and, you know what I mean? And people can sell it. That's how I looked at it, And there was nobody doing it. Back then, there was no more singles coming out. There wasn't any rhythm albums coming out at all. From we started to put back the rhythm albums, everybody jumped up and paid attention, woke them up, woke up a lot of distributors, Yeah. And then they started doing it. And that's when it became, a toilet bowl because there's 200 distributors. Everybody's a distributor.
Yeah.
Right now, it's how much money you got, not what you can do.
Mhm.
You see me? So,
And even then, how did you guys pick your clients back then to say, okay, this is how we're gonna move your music forward in this type of digital distribution?
every major producer in that time, I went to them and told them, let's do this, let's do that, from TJ Rush and everybody.
Mhm.
Everybody. We worked from early on. You know, naturally, as things go, people do their own thing. Of course. You can't say, you know, but yes, that's where we started, from John and Sean Nizzle. You know what I mean? And people and producers like that who were like trying to, you know, try to get something out of life, make music and get something, instead of have to wait for the one, you know, VP to call you for one license deal or something like that. And after Greensleeve got bought, you know what I mean, at least you had a little competition. At least Crick Cracknell maybe give you a little extra $500 on it, you know what I mean? But now when you have the monopoly, what are you gonna do? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you understand. All right. So then you said, when did you build your own company now, 21st, when you went on your own? What year was that?
That was back in the days. I've had 21st Production since 1996.
Okay, well, after you left the other company, when did you set up shop as your
I've been set up. My stuff is always set up. You can't have me like that. You can't think that my stuff ain't set up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm always, because, you know, when you're around something and you feel the energy and you feel the vibes, if you don't know what to do, that's you. But I knew what I had to do.
Got you.
And that's what I'm going to say.
Then now you're back on your own again. What was your next move after you went back on your own now?
Well, then I was able to, you know, I concentrated on my distribution. I have a little staff now. Like, I used to do everything, but now I have a staff that, you know, help me do things. Mm-hmm. Then I said, figure I get back, I had a little time to get back into a little producing. And that's what I do. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And this and that. You know, and I'm happy doing it. I'm in a good mood. I don't have to hear toxic environments. You know what I mean? I don't need it. Mm-hmm. You know? What
were some of the first productions you did back on your own when you started out?
Corner Shop Rhythm. The Block Party Rhythm, Unruly Rave with Popcorn and them people there. Yeah. Oh man, a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. What else? A lot. I can't even hardly remember all my shit. You know, I'm having a block here on all of that. No problem. But a lot of stuff, man.
Yeah. And you think there. So then how do you link up? You're doing your stuff. How did you come across the Skillibeng?
Well, Gotti Bling, Claims Records, they gave me Brick Pun Brick to distribute. So they Brick Pun Brick. Yeah. I'm saying, you know, I have rhythms for this kid, you know? I know I have some rhythms for this kid. I'm listening to Brick Pun Brick and I'm listening to him and I'm saying, I know I have some rhythms for this kid, you know? So link him on Instagram and him give me his WhatsApp number. Mm-hmm. And then I'll link him and say, yo, I have some rhythm for you, dog. And, yo, you want to hear them? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I sent him a couple of rhythms, Crocodile Teeth, with everything. Him sent me back Crocodile Teeth. So I'm looking at this like, what the fuck is this? What is this? Oh my God, this gun, that gun, everybody, Jesus.
Remember, you're the copper shot, man. So
I know, but this is like 35 years later. But checking out the tiki people and like the young kids and stuff and researching all of that. So, all right, boom. All right, let's shoot the video. Mm-hmm. Shot the video, boom, and that was it. That was it. It was over. I don't know another record that had so many people on the record, like the Tory Lanez's, the Bobby Shmurdas, the Nicki Minaj, the Cardi B's, the Burna Boys, the this one, the that one, the this one, the that one. I never tell me the other record that did that.
Mm-hmm. It's been a while since we've seen something where so many people were messing with one record. It's been a while.
Sure has.
Yeah. Crocodile Teeth. So from there, it took off. And did you guys start to work together exclusively, or this was
No. He already got his whatever he got. Whoever he deal with them way there, like management and label and thing. We just work independent. You know what I'm saying? A couple of songs here and there. But he said that I should get an album or an EP. I said I should. I think I should too. Started out as an EP and turned into this album.
So how do you connect with Nicki Minaj to get the actual, is that an official remix?
Republic, a Joshua thing, he hit me. The A&R. A&R hit me and we just made it happen. Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah, just like that.
Yeah.
Simple. They were trying to be slick in the beginning talking about their artists. I was like, well, let me tell you, who is your artist? They're trying to be slick. I'm like, come on now.
You've been around the block for a while, so clearly you know a couple of things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even with that same, before we even leave the Crocodile Teeth, with that same thing there too, I knew that Shenseea did a freestyle on Funk Master Flex and you weren't really happy. What happened with that situation, Johnny?
All right. So the A&R for Interscope and them type of people are hitting me because they need me to sign a waiver for Hot 97. So they're going to use Crocodile Teeth. So I send Crocodile Teeth, the original. That's not what me hear on the radio. Them use a lick over one from YouTube because she couldn't fuck with the original one some kind of way. It was throwing her off. So I said, all right, fuck it. You know what I mean? It's still my rhythm. Still, the rhythm has to be. So I signed the thing and made her do it. Everybody said thank you, except them or whatever. But, and then you go on and you don't even big up the kid. Or, look, I care less about a big up. Big up Addy, big up Skilly. You don't have to say nothing about Johnny. I'm good. But I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that. I mean, even if I did a live before that saying, let bygones be bygones, what do you think I meant by that? You know what I mean? All right, boom, you did what you did. All right, boom, let's move on.
The life of Johnny Wonder, boss.
Yeah, dog.
So are you guys good right now, or you're doing your thing? Her camp is doing her own thing.
I'm doing my thing. They're doing their thing. Who?
With Shenseea's camp.
Oh, no, they doing their thing. I do my thing. No.
Yeah, and you keep it good. Album Crocodile Teeth, you guys put it together. How long did it take for you guys to actually put together that album?
I had the Bobby. I had only his verse of Sweeten the Pain. And I had to fix it, put Dobby, put Lil Zach on it. And he voiced Dream, the Most Power, East Side King. And then he did some of his East Side records. There was 4 of them. I had 6. And then 15, which was Slingers, and the Spice, which was Masterminds. So I had 6 songs. East Side had 4, and they had 1 each. And we basically, the way I do old school, I put the track list up, and I got the cover up with the track list, and we're moving things up and down, and we're taking this one off, and we're moving this over, and we're remixing this. That's how my board looks. I don't think they've ever seen some shit like that. Oh, but then they couldn't do without it. They'd be like, yo, go to the board. No, take that, move that. You know what I mean? So that's how I'm used to doing things. I'm used to doing things like that, putting together albums. And I'm telling you, it was an album from kind of scratches. I mean, it's like 90% of songs nobody's ever heard before. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not like a compilation that I take from this one, I take from that one, I take from this one. You know what I'm saying? That's a compilation. We did an album. We tried to do it from scratch.
And when was release date on the album?
October 15th.
Okay, so we're talking about a little under 2 weeks ago. How's the album doing right now?
Well, the album is, it's doing okay. It's getting ready to go into the RCA, machine. You know, because he's signed to RCA now. They picked up the album.
Okay, RCA.
Mm-hmm. He signed to RCA, Sony. Yeah. So it's gonna go into that machine now. We'll see what that puts out. You know, we have a couple of songs we think we might run with as singles. I mean, they don't have to take my advice. I mean, but.
And even though we know that Crocodile Teeth was the big song, but that came out almost 1 year before the album. How come you guys decided to name the album Crocodile Teeth?
Because Crocodile Teeth, the single, got so much traction everywhere that we would be stupid not to call it the Crocodile Teeth album. You know? We had to just say, no, this is the single. This is the album. You know what I mean? Like, if you love the single, you're going to go listen to the album. So we didn't have to refamiliarize it because it was already familiar. So the people look, so what is this? Crocodile Teeth album? Okay. You know, that's why we did it. You know, I did it really. We wanted to capitalize on that whole wave. I'd be stupid not to.
Makes sense. I see it.
I mean, I'm disappointed certain ways, but what can you do?
But again, you know, this is the music business. There is no one magic formula to always make things work the way how you want it to work.
Absolutely. I always say that. There's not one form, you know, there's no template. Every template is different. Everything is different all the time. Because every record's different from a different person and a different sound and a different, you know, so everything is so much different. Yeah, man.
You're probably the best person I could answer this question here. What's the real difference between streaming and sales right now in a 2021 type
they
of
call
market?
them perpetual downloads. Like, so when you go to iTunes and you buy it and download it, that's called a perpetual whatever download. But streaming, you go to it every day and stream. So with streaming is every day people are going on there and you're making money. But when you buy it, you only get you only get it paid one time. You understand? People buy it, put it on their hard drive, they don't have to pay for it no more. But if they're streaming, you know, every day is a different stream. And then some people have like a monthly thing where they can stream anything they want, and then that's a whole nother percentage that has to be, you know what I mean? There's so many different. All right, not one stream is the same. Let's put it like that. Every stream is different.
So
time of day it is, where you are in the world, you know, this, that, the other thing. You know, it's just every stream is different. You can't say this every stream costs X amount because you can't say that.
So in this right now, in a 2021 type of vibe right now, do sales matter or it's more geared towards stream? What really matters to an artist right now in 2021?
Obviously, they're talking about sales matter because every minute they're running after the sales and not the streams. But shouldn't you say, all right, after the first week you got 150 downloads, but after the first week you got 2 million streams? Well, look, you know what I mean? You can't look at the better one instead of the, you know, like the count, you know what I mean? Instead of looking at the negative one. So I don't know where they're getting to, but something has to be fixed with this whole numbers thing now. I mean, can't understand it.
Yeah. And are you still putting out for like Crocodile Teeth? Did you put out physical CDs or that's just strictly streaming and online?
Yeah, I made some CDs, but most likely, I gave them all the bus drivers in downtown Kingston and, you know, everywhere. And we just made the buses have them all, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, because we had them and not one person asked for them. They asked for, maybe 2 people asked for vinyl. So what am I supposed to do? Go a minimum 2,000 to press up for 2 people? We can't do that.
Yes, because how I see it right now, it's almost like for independent artists, it's kind of hard to be in the music business because if you were selling CDs back then and you as an independent sold 10,000, then you're okay. But if you're in a major, you have to sell 2 million and you're okay. But with streams now, isn't basically everything they put everybody.
Your fan base is everything. It's your fan base. Your fan base is everything. The fan base is going to tell you how you're streaming, how you're doing, and it depends on how much fans you got. That's the holy grail. Build up your fan base. because it's serious. Like, all right, you coming out, you're making a song, but you don't even have a fan base. You don't even know where your demographic is and where you're gonna start. You have to start from somewhere. So you have to figure that out and build your fan base. Some of the greatest artists are the ones that can build their fan base. And they just have a following. I don't know if they know how to keep their following, but they have a big following. And when their stuff comes out, you see the numbers because they support it. Those are your soldiers on the front line.
So that's a big part of the business right now is you have to be able to curate your fan base and know that, listen, and mobilize them when you need them to move.
Exactly. What do you have a fan base for if you can't do that? Like you're sitting on a chart, you're sitting at number 2 or something, number 3. You just say, fans, we have to push this to number 1, and then you push it and try to get there. But you have to be able to. Your fan base is everything, I think.
And especially with social media, you have direct contact, like real direct contact.
Real direct. Yeah, man.
2 questions for you before I get you out of here. Okay. What do you find is the biggest difference with artists nowadays opposed to when you just got into the business?
Back then, the artists only wanted to be artists. Nowadays, the artists want to be everything. Manager, promoter, bus driver, everything. So that is the difference I know from then until now. You know what I mean? And the artists. You think Admiral Bailey wanted to go book his shows? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Or you know what I mean? So that's the difference I see.
And do you find that to be a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, it's too much micromanaging. It becomes a nuisance to me. You know what I mean? When you're really micromanaging everything, it's a nuisance to me. Yeah. I don't know. It's good for the artists. It's bad for everybody else.
I get that. Another one problem I find with music right now, and I heard somebody talk about this in a discussion too, is people find that songs aren't really sticking nowadays. Do you find that also?
Yeah, it's hard to get one to stick. And I mean, when you're talking about stick, you're talking about the streets, the fans in the streets. When you talk that the people bring you, the people. If it ain't sticking to the people, that's a problem.
When do you find that change where music isn't really sticking? Because remember when Showtime came out, you'd play Showtime from this year till next year, and it's still tearing down the dance. And now you put out something in October, by mid-November, we're on to something else, if so long.
Everything's transient nowadays. That's the difference between back then and there. Back then you had to take time. You had to go make your stamper, go print your labels, go press up your records, them, get them in the box, go move them over. Now you just put it up, ting, and bing, that's it. It's up. What are you gonna do?
So I guess this is just the nature of the beast that we're in right now.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a whole new era. I guess it's an elevation, and you're evolving into something else. We're evolving, because Jamaica used to be a very big place to sell vinyl records everywhere. And you probably can't even find a plant open nowadays.
Crazy. Because a lot of it right now, a lot of the Japan market, they love the vinyl and stuff over there.
Germany too. They have people who I guess they do the vinyl for people that seek it. You know what I mean? And they collect things. So
And I guess they have plants over there that could do it in smaller batches, so you don't have to do the minimum of the 2,000 to really get it popping.
I know. You still got to press up. You got to get your stamper made. You still got to press your labels. That's a whole process before you even start pressing. A lot of people never even knew that.
It's a lot of work. Last one I got for you here. When did you actually learn the business of the business? You've been in it now for we'll say 30 plus years. When did you actually learn, okay, this is publishing, this is splits, this is mechanical royalty? When did you learn the business of the business?
When like I'll tell you, it wasn't at at VP when I was there. But when I was at TVT, I learned a lot more of the business and how the business go. I didn't know what publishing was. I didn't know what this was or that was. I look on my publishing sometimes and I see like songs like I guess Change Like the Weather and stuff like that, and I see my little 6%, and I'm like, thank God somebody showed me what to do. Not that I get any money from that, but I'm just saying, it's like, I never knew about those type of things, and I try to help people all the time with that. Because one thing I thought I had to get an administrator. I said, why do I need an administrator when I can do everything myself? You go sign up at ASCAP, $100 to be a composer and a publishing company, and you're good to go. Yeah,
definitely, Johnny Wonder. Crazy conversation. Thank you for actually sitting down and letting me see what's inside of the mind of Mr. Johnny Wonder. You know what I mean?
It's a pleasure, Muscle.
Definitely. If they want to check you out, they want to on social media or anything, leave some handles where they could check you out.
Instagram, JWonder21st with the ST. Facebook, JWonder21. Twitter, JWonder21. www.jwonder21.com. CMP.world. We're all over the place. Find us.
Any last shout outs? Big up. The floor is yours before I get you out of here.
I big up everybody in the biz, man. It's too many people to big up, man. Big up everybody. Big up everybody. And big up yourself.
Maximum respect, Wonder. Thank you again so much for doing this. You understand? All right, let me give your outro and get you out of here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Muscle, and this has been another Two Line Music Hut's Entertainment Report podcast, and we are out. This podcast is brought to you by www.twolinemusichut.com.